Anglo American was founded in 1917 by Sir Ernest Oppenheimer and focuses on platinum, diamonds, copper, iron ore and coal. Mark Cutifani will assume the CEO position at Anglo shortly. It has a market cap of 360.3 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 11 and a dividend yield of 2.5%. Anglo American, Mark Cutifani has a tough job ahead of him.
Because by comparison, Anglo peaks out at 600. Same day, almost to a T, that Billiton was at an all-time high. Look at that share price chart. It's basically not done what Billiton does. In other words, it doesn't get back to its all-time high. It's now languishing. But to be fair, that's partly to do with asset selection decisions made generations before. Massive platinum exposure, and we all know the difficulty those guys are in. And then that huge iron ore purchase in Brazil, which they're really battling, Minas Rio, to get online, in budget, in time. It's just sort of run away with itself.
Cynthia Carroll got a lot of criticism for Minas Rio.
Well, Glassenberg's criticism would have been directed at people like her. In other words, engineers or mining executives with a mindset of constantly wanting to expand production, because that's what they do. To be fair, that was what you wanted to do back then, and people were criticized if they didn't step on the gas far enough. But now the watchbird is, caution.
And value managers, although traditionally resources are not the ambit of value managers because they are driven by external elements like the metal price and the exchange rate, a lot of value managers are now holding Anglo American at current levels, waiting for that re-rating.
Let's consider the fact that all these big mining stocks that we've looked at are far away from their highs, whilst the JSE is making record highs every day. And as the rand weakens or as commodity prices reshift and you see some value coming back into mining stocks, certainly these will start to climb ahead. I believe that Cynthia Carroll made the decisions that she did, and she had an eye on a long-term outlook. I think in time, a number of those efforts would pay off. Unfortunately, 2008 financial crisis disrupted all of those plans. Also bear in mind, this is a changing beast. Whilst we've seen its dynamics move more recently with De Beers being delisted, when I say recently, it's probably 13 years now, De Beers being relisted, the stake that Anglo's has is a substantial diamond interest. The diamond market has gone through some strain through the financial crisis, and they still have a very big exposure to platinum and other precious metals. So unfortunately, they've been hurt more than Billiton.
I just want to sidetrack for a moment. I'm interested in what is happening to, or what will happen to Cynthia Carroll. Does anybody know?
Look,
she going
she's young
else?
enough to go on to a third act. She came from Alcan, where she was a senior executive. That's a aluminium business up there in Canada and globally.
So this isn't the end of her.
I doubt it. No. Look, although these kind of CEO jobs are very demanding on people, so you wouldn't hold it against them if they decided just to retire and go spend more time with their money. That's an option for her too.
What is going to be the value unlock on Anglo American, Levan?
For starters, we want to see some certainty with the South African labour rules. Certainly, strike action has been a problem for all miners. Amplats is a big hold for Anglos, and over the years has been a very valuable source of income. So if the strike action continues in South Africa, you're likely to see all mining houses suffer, in particular Anglos.
So you want certainty on the labour front?
And of course, stronger, more reliable commodity prices would be a big bonus.
What's been a gem for Anglo, though, has been its stake in Kumba, because that asset has just gone from strength to strength, and it's surface open cast type mining, so it doesn't have the same safety related problems. But to some extent, that's run its course, and Kumba has done that massive production expansion from about 10 to about 50 million tons per year. Whether they can repeat that remains to be seen, and there are constraints on the Saldanha line. What worries me is that the Minas Rio thing might end up just being a total blowout. In other words, they may reach a point where they just say, look, it's just been such a mess that
let's walk away from it.
Walk away, or sell it to a Brazilian who can deal with the permitting issues and all the other dramas. So if that happened, that would be a blow, because people are buying the recovery, and if the recovery isn't going to be evident. So I really do think Mark Cutifani's got it cut out for him.
Do you believe he can do the job?
I think he's an excellent choice because, being as high profile as Anglo is, there may have been pressure to appoint a South African, any South African, but they didn't do that. They went with a foreigner, even though he's really adopted this country. Good for him. So I think he was a perfect choice and a hardened executive with no nonsense attitude. So perfect for the job.
And in his own words, when I interviewed him on Captains of Industry, he has been quoted as saying he has balls of steel.
Okay, perfect.
I think I actually said that, and he just nodded, a little embarrassed. Anyway, hot or not on Anglo American?
I'm hot.
Hot or not Anglo American?
I'm going to go with not hot. I think there are just too many execution risks in there. So I'm not buying it now, but I'm going to watch it over the forthcoming months.